Hey guys, what's going on? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. Got another video for you guys today. Before we get started with today's video, please make sure to drop a like down below. It definitely helps the channel out a ton. It is very easy to do so and makes a massive difference. Also, if you're new here to the channel, feel free to subscribe to receive more Dallas Cowboys content from yours truly now and in the future. And finally, hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live or post new content. So with all this out of the way, I wanted to talk about the whole center position battle, or rather what's going on, because from recent reports we've been hearing Tyler Biadasz has been doing very well with the given time with him playing the center position in training camp. Now, from what reports have gathered, he has not been playing with the first team, but rather with the second and third teams, and he's been doing extremely well, blocking very well, having really no issues whatsoever. Now, we haven't heard a lot from Joe Looney, but based off of what I'm getting at, he's doing pretty much what we expect from him. 2018 is probably the best you're going to get out of him. And just so you know, Joe Looney in 2018 was solid at best, okay? And this is no insult to him. He is a pretty good player for what we're asking for in terms of the money we're paying him, as well as, you know, based off the situation he's in. But I think ultimately it's just a matter of when Tyler gets the nod. Because as we look at this, I do not believe Tyler will start week 1. I don't believe that. I think it would need to take a massive push from him to get into that starter role by working with the ones and continuously impressing. Now, do I think he'll get snaps with the ones? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know what the Cowboys have planned. And we haven't really seen any footage from him and, you know, Joe Looney. We haven't heard much about Joe Looney during this whole training camp. So my assumption is he's doing decent. I don't know. Maybe you guys can leave that down in the comment section below if you've seen some reports saying otherwise. But with all this in mind, how do I feel about the center position and based off of some of what I'm hearing? So I think what we're going to see is we're going to see, like I've said before in previous videos, Joe Looney will begin as the starter week 1, and I believe Tyler will end up being the starter at some point later in this season if things go well. I do believe that Tyler is by far the better player and has a higher ceiling than Joe Looney, but it's just a matter of how the Cowboys feel comfortable. Do they feel comfortable handing Tyler Biadasz the keys to the center position, or do they want to ease him in and see what Joe Looney can do under the new offensive scheme and protections and stuff like that and the language? Because with Tyler, you have him for 4 years. Joe, you only have him for a single year. So there could be a possibility where Joe Looney just does the whole season and then you have Tyler, you know, sit on the bench or learn, and then he starts the following season. I don't know what the plan's going to be, but I don't know what Mike McCarthy has in store along with Joe Philbin, but I will say I think that the Cowboys have the center position relatively set. Now, again, do I think these guys are going to be Travis Frederick, you know, in his prime caliber type of players? Probably not, no. Joe Looney, absolutely not. Tyler Biadasz, no, I don't think so. There is a possibility, come from the same school, you know, they have the same build, stuff like that. Do I think that it's possible for him? Maybe. But again, I think the biggest thing that us as Cowboys fans, as well as, you know, just understanding the expectations, is that with Tyler coming in as a 4th round pick, I'm not saying that's an indicator of what we should see from him, but what I will say is I do think that the Cowboys need to get a lot more value from their, you know, offensive line selections in later rounds. You know, getting a guy in the 1st round is cool and all, but the fact of the matter is that you need to get guys, like, if you can get guys on a level of, not, like, even, like, whatever, half of Zach Martin or half of Tyron Smith, which is, you know, at their peak, that's pretty much Pro Bowl caliber nearly. So if you can get players like that from later round selections and become starters and you can pay them cheaply, that's very damn good. You know, with La'el, I understand La'el Collins, he was undrafted and stuff like that, you know, for reasons that were unfair to him. But I think the thing we need to understand is that getting the most out of these players is extremely key. Because as we see what's going on, I think that the Cowboys have an opportunity to get younger on the offensive line. You know, as the main core, well, with Travis retiring, you now have Zach Martin and Tyron Smith about to enter their 30s. So you really have to consider possibly, not with Zach, but with Tyron definitely, you have to consider possibly moving on. Now, the reason I add this point is because I don't want to do a separate video on this because there's no point. They just restructured Tyron Smith's deal, and the deal now, you know, took about $6 million off the cap for the Cowboys, and it's not like it's a massive deal for where the Cowboys are screwed or like, oh no, like no, the dead money is not sufficient enough to be like that bad. So the Cowboys are fine there, and they're not paying Tyron a whole lot for base salary from what I've been seeing. But with all this in mind, I do think the Cowboys need to seriously consider addressing the tackle position at some point. But getting back to this whole center battle, I do believe that Tyler Biadasz has been progressing well according to reports and according to multiple sources. He's been doing pretty well with that second team, and if he can continue, you know, doing what he's doing, I have no reason to believe he will be the starter at some point, whether it be sometime this season or definitely the following season when Joe probably goes into the offseason or free agency. So with all this in mind, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this whole center position battle. Do you think Tyler will get the nod at, you know, week 1? Will he be the starter week 1? How long do you think Joe Looney is going to be able to hold off Tyler Biadasz? Do you think he's going to hold him off for the whole year? How do you feel this entire situation is going to go about? Feel free to leave that down in the comment section below. I want to hear that. Also, if you didn't already, and finally reaching the end of this video, thank you for that, number one. If you could, remember to leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to receive more, and hit the notification bell to make sure that you get notified when more content comes out. So, with all this out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Have a good day, guys. Peace out. Bye-bye.